in it, a little bit. I kind of wanted to take a break from the WNBA content, to be honest with y'all. It's just been all over the place and don't seem like that they're going to get a deal done at all. Now, the season is scheduled, free agency is scheduled to be starting in April. And as of right now, we don't even know if that's even going to happen. They had a face-to-face meeting the other day and nothing got done. You got Breanna Stewart still. It's kind of hard being motivated to report on something. Now, I know I'm not supposed to have my feelings as a...
That frustration you just heard, that's not just one content creator being tired. That's the sound of someone who rode the Caitlin Clark wave all season long, built an audience on WNBA coverage, and now finds himself staring at a league that might not even have a season to cover. Because while Team USA just released footage of Caitlin Clark training in Durham for the national team, the WNBA itself is careening toward a labor dispute that could shut everything down. And the timing couldn't be more brutal.
What makes this different is it's the best players on the best stage and the highest stakes, man.
For a lot of us, that this is our first national team camp, and you play FIBA, but when you get to the national team level, it's obviously different. Going back and watching that gold medal game and just how physical it was, and that's what it's going to take to be able to win. Film never lies to you, and so being able to see it and then get on the court and be like, let's do it, I think everybody was pretty motivated and excited.
Yeah.
Here's what makes this situation so absurd. Team USA training camp runs March 11th through 17th in Durham. That's when we'll see Caitlin Clark competing for a roster spot alongside the league's biggest stars. But WNBA free agency is scheduled to start in April, except right now, as of this recording, there's no collective bargaining agreement in place. The players and owners had a face-to-face meeting recently, and according to reports, they made zero progress, not small progress, not incremental movement, zero. So you've got USA Basketball putting out slick promotional content, showing Caitlin Clark in national team gear, generating massive buzz for women's basketball on the international stage. Meanwhile, the domestic league that made her a household name is stuck in a negotiation stalemate that threatens to derail the entire 2025 season. The contrast is jarring.
First day, let's have a great day.
Nice, I like it. Good, Jack. Good. One more. Here we go.
We have to bring a different level of intensity and energy. So I think that's what we've been doing. And I think, we've just been having fun with it.
This camp has just been amazing. Just seeing Kara go from assistant to the head. She's just been incredible.
Oh, I love how hard we're playing. Good, GK. Let's go. Let's play. Come on. Good, see?
They're playing hard today. They're playing hard today.
How to get the wind back in us, go up and down a little bit, get to know each other, get to know the plays, the schemes, offense, defense. But yeah, overall, good first day.
Now let's talk about what Team USA is actually doing right here. This isn't just practice footage, this is strategic positioning. They're showing intensity, physicality, and a level of competition that frankly makes the regular WNBA season look soft by comparison. Listen to what the players are saying in this footage. They keep emphasizing how different FIBA basketball is from the W, how much more physical it is, how the intensity has to be at a completely different level. That's not accidental messaging. USA Basketball is building their brand while the WNBA stumbles through labor negotiations. And for players like Caitlin Clark, this might actually be the more important stage right now. Think about it. If the WNBA season gets delayed or shortened because of CBA disputes, but Team USA qualifies for major international tournaments, where do you think the eyeballs are going to be? Where do you think the marketing opportunities are?
Yep, here, I got you. 71. Yep, up. Just jump to the next possession. Just jump out there. To the post player, go.
That physicality, like Kara was talking about, is not just when you play, it's when you practice, and those things translate over. So I think it really set the tone, and to people that haven't played this style of basketball before, it's different than the W, and it's something that you kind of just have to learn.
It was electric. so much energy, communication. We were competing against each other, but there was still humility.
I'm pleased. We're learning each other. Like, I thought we had a pretty good day yesterday, and I was curious to see, like, can we do that again? Can we do that again? Can we keep elevating? We keep elevating with your competitiveness, so it's really good. It's good to mix things through the camp, and what I tried to be intentional about was seeing different guard combinations, seeing different forward combinations. And it just so happened that the last day, the combinations I hadn't seen was all the veterans together and all the new.
Watch this section carefully. This is Kara Lawson, the new head coach, talking about the scrimmage structure she set up. Veterans versus newcomers. And she's intentionally creating competitive situations to evaluate different guard combinations and forward combinations. This is smart coaching, but it's also revealing something important about the current state of USA basketball. They're in a transition period. The old guard that won gold medals is aging out. Players like Caitlin Clark, Paige Buchers, when she gets there, and other younger stars are competing for spots. And the way Lawson is running these camps, she's creating real competition, 5-minute quarters, full intensity. When it's tied 1-1, the players themselves are demanding another quarter. Nobody wants to leave it unfinished. That competitive fire is exactly what USA basketball needs. But here's the uncomfortable question. Is that same intensity present in WNBA negotiations? Because from the outside, it looks like the opposite. It looks like both sides are dug in, nobody's blinking, and the people who suffer are the fans who just want to watch basketball.
Comers together. We're going to play a 5-minute quarter, and we're going to see who wins it. It's a full game. 5-minute quarter is a full game. 5-minute game. 5-minute game. Hey, let's get this done. I asked my staff the morning before the last day of practice. I said, I woke up and I thought, let's do this. I said, what do you guys think? And they said, I think that's great.
Yeah, Leah. Yeah, Leah. Good find, Steve. Good find, Steve.
Not many of us really even knew what to really expect. Everybody brought that competitive spirit.
Hey, give them 4 minutes. We're going to play another quarter.
I think when Coach Kara does it, like her passion and her energy and her competitive spirit, like that impacts all of us.
Good job. Good job. Good job.
Notice what Kara Lawson says here about the standard for USA basketball not changing. Even with the transition from the previous coaching staff to her leadership, the expectation remains the same. Bring the best, be the best. That's a clear message to every player in that gym. Your reputation doesn't guarantee you a roster spot. Your past accomplishments don't guarantee you minutes. You have to prove it in these camps. And that's creating an environment where someone like Caitlin Clark, who's never played in an Olympics or World Cup, has a legitimate shot to make this team if she outperforms veterans. The meritocracy is real, which makes it even more frustrating that the WNBA's labor situation feels like it's being held hostage by egos and stubbornness, rather than being resolved by people who actually care about growing the game. The players in this Team USA footage are talking about how the learning carries over from camp to camp, how even though 3 days doesn't seem like much, when you add up multiple camps throughout the year, you suddenly have 2 weeks of solid training together. That's long-term thinking. That's building towards something. Where's that same long-term thinking in the CBA negotiation?
It was great to see. It was competitive.
Execute, finish.
I typically do 2 quarters on purpose. I am hoping that they split. And then I'm very curious to see when they split, who wants to play again. You think they're gonna say anything? No, I'm saying, do you think they'll say anything? Want to play again? Yes. One more? It's 1-1? We don't want to end like that? All right, let's go 2.5. 5? 5? Okay, all right, one more 5. Of course they wanted to play again, and so we played again.
There's definitely a transition from top to bottom, but that doesn't mean that the standard for USA basketball is going to change. You're still going to have to bring the best and be the best to beat the best.
hard to put into words, but one of the best practices I've been.
This is the moment that really captures what makes Team USA basketball special. The competitive spirit is so intense that when they split the first 2 quarters, nobody wants to stop. The coaches have to decide whether to play another quarter, and the players are basically demanding it. That's the kind of environment that creates championship teams. But let's connect this back to the bigger picture. While these players are competing at this level in Durham, the business side of the WNBA is falling apart. The content creator we heard from at the beginning said something important. It's hard to stay motivated to cover a league when the people running it seem determined to sabotage their own success. And he's not wrong. Think about the casual fan who got interested in the WNBA because of Caitlin Clark last season. Maybe they watched their first Fever game. Maybe they bought a jersey. Maybe they started following the league. Now they're hearing rumors about labor disputes, potential season delays, and owners and players who can't agree on basic terms. What's that casual fan supposed to think? Why would they stay invested in a league that can't get its own house in order? Here's what makes this entire situation so frustrating, and why that content creator's rant at the beginning resonates with so many people who cover this league. The WNBA just had its best season in history. Caitlin Clark's rookie year brought unprecedented attention, record television ratings, sold-out arenas, and mainstream media coverage that the league has been desperately seeking for decades. The Indiana Fever went from playing in front of half-empty gyms to being the hottest ticket in town. Every Fever road game became an event. The league averaged 1.2 million viewers for nationally televised games, more than doubling the previous year's numbers. And now, with all that momentum, with all that new fan interest, with corporate sponsors finally paying attention and networks finally investing real money, the league is risking everything over a CBA negotiation that should have been wrapped up months ago. Free agency is supposed to start in April. Teams need to know their salary cap situations. Players need to know the rules they're operating under. Fans need to know there's going to be a season to watch. Instead, we get reports of face-to-face meetings that accomplish nothing. We get vague statements about both sides being far apart. We get posturing and stubbornness while the clock ticks down toward what should be one of the most exciting off-seasons in WNBA history. Meanwhile, USA Basketball is out here doing everything right. They're releasing professional content that showcases the athleticism and competitiveness of women's basketball. They're building storylines around new players like Caitlin Clark competing for roster spot. They're creating must-watch moments like that veterans versus newcomers scrimmage where nobody wanted to stop playing. They're thinking about the long game, about building toward the next Olympics, about maintaining the standard of excellence that's made USA Basketball dominant on the international stage. The contrast is stark. One organization is professionally marketing its product and building toward future success. The other is stumbling through basic labor negotiations that should have been resolved before they became a crisis. Let's talk about what's actually at stake in these CBA negotiations, because it's not just about player salaries, though that's obviously important. The players want a larger share of league revenue. They want better travel conditions, which is completely reasonable given that they're professional athletes flying commercial, while their male counterparts in the NBA have chartered flights. They want improved maternity benefits and better health insurance. These are not radical demands, these are basic professional standards. But the owners are in a difficult position too. Most WNBA teams still operate at a loss. The league is subsidized by the NBA, and while that's starting to change with new media deals and increased sponsorship revenue, the financial reality is that the WNBA doesn't have the same profit margins as other major professional sports leagues. So when players ask for a bigger piece of the pie, owners are rightfully asking, what pie? We're still building this thing. That's the fundamental tension, and it's a legitimate tension. Both sides have valid points, but here's what's not valid. Letting that tension paralyze the entire league during the most crucial growth period in its history. This is the moment to strike. This is when you have mainstream attention. This is when casual sports fans are actually paying attention to the W. And instead of capitalizing on that momentum, instead of figuring out how to grow the revenue pie so there's more for everyone, the league is stuck in a negotiation stalemate that threatens to alienate the very fans they just spent all season attracting. Think about Caitlin Clark's position in all this. She just finished a rookie season that transformed the league's visibility. She's about to compete for a Team USA roster spot, which will keep her in the public eye throughout the spring and summer. She should be the face of the WNBA's growth. She should be the player that casual fans follow from the national team back to the Fever when the season starts. But if there's no season, if free agency gets delayed, if the start of the year is pushed back because of labor disputes, all that momentum dies. All those new fans who discovered the WNBA through Caitlin Clark will find something else to watch. They'll move on. and getting them back will be 10 times harder than keeping them engaged would have been. The content creator we heard from at the beginning said he's thinking about making shorter videos, maybe pulling back from WNBA coverage, because it's hard to stay motivated when the league seems determined to shoot itself in the foot. And you know what? That's a rational response. Why should content creators invest time and energy building audiences around WNBA coverage when the league itself might not even have a product to cover? But here's the deeper issue. It's not just about content creators, it's about the entire ecosystem that's been building around the WNBA's growth. Local reporters who increased their coverage, national media outlets that started sending reporters to games, sponsors who invested in team partnerships, fans who bought League Pass subscriptions. All of those people made a bet on the WNBA's future, and right now the league is making them look foolish for believing. The Team USA footage we watched shows what's possible when an organization operates professionally. Those players are competing at the highest level, the coaching staff is creating meaningful evaluation opportunity, the media team is producing content that makes people want to watch. Everything is functioning the way a professional sports organization should function. That's the standard. That's what the WNBA should be aspiring to match. Instead, they're stuck in a negotiation quagmire that makes the entire operation look amateur by comparison. So here's the question that matters. Who blinks first? Do the players accept less than they want because they recognize the existential threat of losing momentum? Do the owners open their wallets wider because they recognize the opportunity cost of delaying the season? Or do both sides stay stubborn, let the April free agency deadline pass, and watch as all the goodwill and attention from last season evaporate? Because make no mistake, that's what's at stake here. This isn't just about money or contract terms or revenue sharing percentages. This is about whether the WNBA can capitalize on a once-in-a-generation opportunity to become a mainstream sports league, or whether they're going to fumble it away, because nobody in the room was willing to compromise. The Team USA training camp footage ends with players talking about how motivated and excited they are, how the intensity and competitiveness made it one of the best practices they've been part of, how they can't wait for the next camp. That's the energy that should be surrounding the WNBA right now. That's the momentum they should be riding. Instead, we're all sitting here wondering if there's even going to be a season to cover. And that's not just frustrating for content creators or media members or hardcore fans. It's a betrayal of every casual fan who gave the WNBA a chance last year, and is now being told that maybe the league doesn't actually have its act together after all. So watch that Team USA content and appreciate what professional sports marketing looks like. Then ask yourself why the WNBA can't seem to get out of its own way long enough to do the same thing. The talent is there, the fan interest is there, the media attention is there. The only thing missing is competent leadership that can close a deal and give everyone what they actually want: basketball games to watch, analyze, and argue about. Let me know in the comments whether you think this CBA gets resolved before free agency, or if we're headed for a delayed season that kills all the momentum from Caitlin Clark's rookie year.